Hey guys, I'm Captain Foley. We got a new ship. We got a new ship.
We got a couple of ships, but they're teasers.
I
They're
know.
details. They're additions. They're like, ooh, let's populate this world with Star Trek, as is the tradition in Lower Decks. Hi guys, welcome back to Trekyards, your weekly look at ships. This is our video, guys. Do look at our reviews of Lower Decks episode 1, either spoiler free, spoiler filled, or the full review breakdown. They're all worth it for different reasons, and this will be a full spoiler content as all of our sub content will be. And do tune in the rest of the week for a lot of great videos looking at a lot of small things, because guys, there is so much to look at. We weren't sure, but there really is. Lower Decks is filled to the brim with things, and most of them really epic. But Stuart, yeah, tell me about, well, Stuart, the first shot. The thing
First
that
shot's
started.
fantastic. A great way to establish this. We got a great shot of Earth space dock and three ships, one of which is very much like the Cerritos, only a little bit different. But they're all three are a little bit different. One has underslung nacelles, one has upper swept nacelles. It looks kind of Romulan almost. And then there's one up at the very top above the starbase that has a really cool secondary hull and a cool shaped saucer. So there's a lot here,
Yes.
but we need to see more of them.
And to clarify, not Earth Space Dock, this is a different base. But yes,
Oh yeah,
clearly.
this is Douglas.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's not 25% different. The only thing that's different, I would say, is that the top part is slightly thinner. That's it. Everything else is brilliant. It's a beautiful looking station. Yeah, three ships. I mean, what a great way. In Picard, obviously, we had the beginning with the Enterprise D, similar evoking feelings. This was like, we're here. And what a great way to symbolize, hey, we're in the universe, and starting with the universe. There's no confusion here. I know the Cerritos itself is an odd design, and I think people are slowly appreciating it more. Either you don't like it or you're learning to appreciate it. I don't think it's a nice looking design, but episode 1 really liked to show it, and it looked better in motion than one still. I don't know. Let's about that for a second. The Cerritos. How do you think it looked before we go on to the other three?
Like I said when I first saw it, each time I looked at it, I liked it more and more, and I wanted to see it in motion. Now that I've seen it in motion, the space scenes in this show are pretty cool. So I mean, I think it looks great, and it actually is growing on me more and more each time I see it. It is kind of a funky design, but to me it works. It looks nice in motion. So
because this is not the pride of the fleet. This is very much not
yeah,
the pride of the fleet. And the
yeah,
other three ships are obviously, the left and the right bottom hand are obviously kit bashes of the same saucer, but they made the effort to at least change the nacelle configuration. I mean, that is different, and obviously it's different nacelles, far more conventional feeling, basards and such. The top ship I'm more excited to see because that feels more like a conventional design. And if we want to see more of
yeah,
that,
yeah. There's a little bit of lack of detail on the two lower ones, and people are saying, well, they're just small. But if you zoom in, I mean, with the high res, you can see, they could add a little bit more. But, and I do say that one on the left still feels very much like a Romulan, TOS Romulan warbird or bird of prey. Um, anyway, yeah, the upper one is the one I'm most excited about as well. Very nice shapes there.
yeah, it's giving me slight Discovery flashbacks with the way the say how it looks
I
pointed.
didn't want to say that.
But it's a lot more. It looks a lot more neat. It looks odd, but kind of like a good odd, as these things tend to be. But as we know, everything's intentional in animation, really intentional. And we've looked at comics where, as in Star Trek comics, where it's licensed, it's official, and yet they either steal designs from other things, literally. Like there's one that we looked at a while ago. They steal a Stargate design. It's just like that's just this ship, but backwards. It's like, well, that was theft. Or where they, in 4 different panels and 4 different pages of the same comic, they literally don't have the same details each one, which shows a complete lack of attention to detail, and therefore who the hell cares about canon. This is obviously another licensed, mostly canon in terms of like, it's canon, but it's animated, so but they're trying, and I'm you could think by this that okay, we're not going to see classic hero ships, but I want to give a massive shout out to the Deredex. We saw a spot on the Deredex and a spot on Borg Cube in the tile sequence, which should give you even more cause for thinking if they want to show the classics, they will show the classics. No 25% different, no licensing problems, if they want to show it. So, guys, we very much we'll probably see the Enterprise E at some point. It's still functioning at this point. I would not be surprised. I mean, that's quite hero. That's quite a flagship for this pitiful little ship to find to meet up with. But we're gonna see some classic ships. I have no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. Seen that in the opening title sequence was awesome. The Borg and Romulan battle makes me wonder if one of those is the artifact. No, I don't know.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, actually, wow, wow, link to canon, love it.
But yeah, they get one phaser hit to their shields, and they're like, "No, we're out." I thought that was pretty hilarious. But yeah, and the Daredexes look great. Borg cubes are pretty hard to get wrong, I guess. But the Daredexes, there's no changes, there's nothing. And that's what I like about this show so far, is they're keeping very true to how it should look and feel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more Federation ships though, because that opening shot was just a teaser. It's like, hey, look, there's some new ones for you guys, ship guys. And we need to see more of them. I mean, there is a shot of the one with the upswept nacelles coming into the station through the space door. And again, it's not much any more detail than the other shot. I do like the high res, though. You can zoom in really well and see a few windows and stuff. So,
and I kind of also appreciate that while the saucer is familiar, it's obviously different, and the fact there's so few windows means it's also another tiny ship. You know, I think what we're getting is these, you know, for what it. Obviously, in TNG we had certain miniatures, and they were able to reuse them. Great. When you came to later shows, we kept designing new ships, but you know, the Equinox, okay, small ship, that was an exception. That was meant to be a busted up ship. Prometheus, big bad. Akira, ooh, strong. You know, all these big things. But this is meant to be a ship. This Cerritos that is a nothing ship, and so its missions are going to be on the outer edge of importance. And so these ships at this station might be in a similar tier of tiny, warp capable, you know, single survey craft. Who cares? And so I kind of like we're seeing these whole, you know, every time you see an Excelsior in TNG isn't necessarily a pride of the fleet, but it's a massive ship, still big at the time. It's still going to be something given these bigger, longer missions. So I like we're seeing these smaller things. It's a whole different avenue, which means when you do see, say, a galaxy, and I have no doubt we're going to see a galaxy or something similar, it will be like, oh, you know, this big, giant, wow, which is what you want us to feel as an audience, giving us this lower deck perspective. This is a lower deck ship for a lower deck crew. It's amazing, this sort of show where you can take so much from these images because they are intent. You know, it's like in Star Trek Picard where you see LCARs that don't work, and then the ones that do work, or designs that do or don't. You know, there's intent there. I see the same here, but in a really positive way.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, what you're saying about the smaller ships, these are obviously support ships, aren't they? Like they have a specific mission detail, and that's fine. Now, somebody might point out that we haven't talked about the shuttle, but we have. We did a full episode about the shuttle early on, so if you want to go check that out, please do. But yeah, I'm thinking too, just going back to that first shot again, the one in the distance at the top is probably a larger ship, or it could be anyway, just because it's so far back and yet looks so big. It looks like it's almost behind the station.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to see it. I want to see more detail of that.
Because we saw it in the first poster as well, which implies that it's going to be a bigger support ship that we're going to see later on. You know, because it'd be kind of fun to have two crews, two ships, not as a hero, but as like a secondary, like we kind of have the Excelsior in Star Trek 6. I do get the sense those nacelles are the same as the Cerritos, or at least a very similar variant. So it's in a similar subclass, just with a different configuration, more integrated configuration. But yeah, I would definitely argue it's a bigger ship. Yeah, I mean, just lots of potential here, guys. And again, to start with a space dock-esque is lovely. And I can't wait for more episodes. I think we're going to see a lot of cool stuff, a lot of creative stuff. And even, this is the other ships of Trek in this season. We even see a ship of the aliens that we meet in the background, just because cool design, fun design, just there, barely in it. It's like attention to detail is definitely a core principle of this show. So well done, them. You know.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess that's it for our look at the few other ships we saw here. Like I said, I'm excited to see more. Let us know what you guys think about these designs.
And hey, if you want to use the Horizon at some point, email me. It would definitely fit in your world. You know, easy to draw, angled, looks cool. You know, let's make Horizon canon. It's right there, guys.
Yes, yes. Yes, put in the comments what you think of these ship designs, and just your thoughts in general. And please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out other content by us. We're going to be doing breakdown videos throughout the week for Lower Decks, and of course our live reviews and stuff like that every week as well. So check those out.
Yep. And support on Patreon if you can. We do rely on monthly donations via Patreon and via channel membership, which is YouTube. So if you like us on this channel, you can become a channel member. Easy to find those options, or during the live super chat. Those are incredibly helpful to allow us to keep doing the content. I mean, you see how much work put in every week during these big new releases, and obviously we've got Lower Decks and Discovery, so it's 23 weeks of daily content. It's hard, it's strenuous, and no one else does it. So if you can support even $5, you know, if 10 of you gave 5, it matters. 100 you gave 5, it matters. So even 5 or 10 or 20 or 30, Patreon, super chat, PayPal, even Trekyards@hotmail.com. That's the PayPal. All of these great ways, they help us make stuff for you. Thanks so much in advance.
That's right. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Kongs. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.